Welcome to Fearless and Fabulous Friday. Today we're talking about the creative side. Welcome. Thank you for being fearlessly, fabulously you. Did you know creating, making art, or anything that's like art is actually one of the most radical things you can do, and it just might save the world. I saw a TEDx talk recently, and it was called The Case for Making Art When the World is on Fire. And it impressed me. I will link to it in the description. Let's talk about what art is, why it matters to you, and why it matters to the world. Art is not just for kids, and it's not just for retired people, and it doesn't always look like this. Art can be a recipe that you enjoy making for others. Art can be a YouTube video you create. Art can be painted rock that you're going to put along your landscape walkway. Art can be, this is a calendar a friend of mine has been making for 20 years. It's all about love. Every single page has an affirmation of love. I will put a link to her website and also a place where you can get daily affirmations sent for free to your email. She's fabulous. Her name is Sarah Love, and it's actually Sarah Hannah Love, but she goes by Sarah Love. And Sarah actually gives half of the calendars that she makes away to underprivileged school districts, so that the children have something wonderful to look at, that the teachers have something wonderful to look at. Art can also be these books that I created. It can be that painting behind me that my mother made. And my mother was a beautiful artist. She picked up art late in life. Art can also be, this is nearly 300 pages of a column that my dear Aunt Dorothy used to write for the Columbus Sentinel in Ohio, called River Reverie. That was the name of her column. And she wrote that for a number of years. Aunt Dorothy is currently in hospice. And yeah, that's what my week has been like. But you know what? She is my inspiration for this channel. She is the most fearless, fabulous woman I know. She has done the Appalachian Trail. She has done the Ironman triathlon. She has done a photo junket to Scotland and Wales. She put both her children through their master's degrees and then went and got her bachelor's degrees in journalism. She's been married twice to wonderful men, and then late in life she met her paramour, and they were together for a number of years before he unfortunately passed flying his twin-engine airplane. He crashed it, and she's now in hospice. But she has had a life well lived, and I think art can be the answer for most of us. Creating something is a radical thing to do, especially given the condition of the world right now. This is a meme that was put at the beginning of that TEDx video, and I thought I would share it with you. When I look at my own life, the times that I have felt most alive are when I am creating. I can remember a time when I was working at this healthcare organization, and a girlfriend and I, one of my colleagues, we were trying to decorate our door for Christmas. And there was an office contest about decorating our door. And we came up with a poem that sort of was along the lines of, "'Twas the night before Christmas," but we used all these things that had to do with the hospital that were sort of inside jokes. And we won that contest. But I will tell you, when we were creating it, I just felt this flow coming over me. It was like it was writing itself. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience about something that you've created, but that is your creative juices flowing. And it is such an incredible feeling. Do you know that when you're creating things, your inflammation markers go down, your pain threshold, your response to pain goes down? It's good for us mentally, physically, and spiritually. When we stop creating, we stop growing. And so whatever creating looks like to you, don't ignore that very important part of your life. When is the last time you've just took 5 minutes to do something creative that you enjoyed that seemed frivolous at the time? Art is not frivolous. Art is reclaiming our attention. Our most valuable asset is our attention, and we give far too much of it to what society says we should be spending money on. I read a comment on the TEDx talk, and I hope you look through the comments. I did make a comment on myself there, but there were some wonderful comments in there. And one of them said something like, consumerism is our way of, it's like the only last vestige of art that we're allowed to do. And so it's sort of distracting us from what real art is. I've had periods of my life where I wasn't creating anything. I was just working and slogging, and then for relaxation, I would watch true crime or politics, and I would get all upset. And I went into a period of depression. And so that was right before I went on to this 17-week weight loss program where I challenged myself to lose 40 pounds in 4 months naturally, and I did it. And I think that the reason I had put on that extra weight, I had 20 pounds to lose, and then I had gained another 20 pounds during that depression period, was because I wasn't creating anything. I was just consuming. I was consuming what society or the big corporate guys or whatever was trying to get me to consume. And it was taking my mind off of, it was like using my mind in ways that I had no control over, or at least I didn't think I had any control over. And as soon as I broke that cycle, my energy level went up. Of course, I was losing weight, I was eating right, so that all helped. But I began to have more creativity. Have you ever had a job that was just so toxic and you quit that job, and right after you quit that job, you had bundles of energy and you had all these great ideas for what you were going to do with your life? It's because you've been holding in something to sort of try to cope with the reality. And as soon as that thing that you've been holding in is gone, you can just see that the world is wide open and the field is yours. The oyster is yours to open up and grab that pearl. And a lot of people are concerned about AI and how it's going to ruin the world for the creatives. And if you look at this rock that I did, this is one of many, and this is my best. I'll show you all of them, and some of them are just okay, right? This still has errors in it. And that's okay. That means it's not been created by AI. The human touch, the human vulnerability, the human mess, all of that is what makes art so special. The unexpected, the surprises, the messes. It makes it human. It helps humans connect with it. They can see themselves in it. It's not some plastic, perfect Kardashian world. It's real. You can reclaim your creativity at any age. It's not just for the young. I remember kind of poo-pooing those coloring books for adults, the adult coloring books, thinking, oh, that's so silly. But oh my gosh, how stupid was I? That wasn't silly at all. I think it's wonderful that people can play like that. They've done studies and shown that just 45 minutes of play, just taking some time out and doing 45 minutes of play can lower your cortisol levels. We all have inflammation. Inflammation has been also called inflammaging because inflammation ages us. Too much inflammation. And this is one way to combat that. It's meditative. When you're focused on, doing a little piece of art like this, when you're focused on that and you're just really, like, I had to put my reading glasses on to see because some of it was really fine work. Nothing else can intrude. You're doing something, you're making something, and it has an end result that you can see and share with others. And that it's just so, there are very few things in life that you can say that about. You know, I have a job where I write on the job, but the type of writing I do is not creative. And so it's been just such a blessing to be working on a creative project like these rocks. Here are some quotes from the TEDx talk that I loved. When we create, we have agency in a world that says we're too small to enact change. We are a culture of consumption, and we've forgotten how to make. We need less consumption, more creation. We consume art to feel closer to humanity. Lean into the mess, the imperfections. That's magic. Creatives never leave the world the way they found it. Your art is the antidote to so many people's pain, yet you keep it to yourself. This is somewhat unrelated, but I saw the parallel immediately. Today, I was talking to a couple who have gone and participated in protests. They're an older couple. I think they're probably in their mid-70s. And she's a poet, and he's a great support to her. I don't think he's a poet, but he goes to all her poetry events with her. And they were talking to me about how they just don't feel like doing the protests anymore. Because they said, you know, all we do is just go there and stand there and hold signs and people honk and then we go home. And I'm like, I said, you don't know what you're doing. I had passed a protest by my library just a few days before this. And I remember they were waving their signs and there were things they felt very strongly about that I agreed with. I 100% agreed with. And so I honked my horn and waved at them. And as I passed, I thought, now what can I do? What can I do? So in addition to bringing things to light, your art can also inspire others. So that's the parallel. And I certainly do hope that you reclaim your artist. There's a wonderful book that I've recommended before by Julia Cameron. It's called The Artist's Way. So if you feel like you need to get in touch with your artistic side again, your creative side again, it's an awesome book to sort of, you know, get those juices flowing again. My rocks are not quite ready. I still want to do about 4 more, and then I'm going to put them along the walkway leading up to my front door. And while they won't solve world hunger or climate change, I hope they bring a little beauty to someone else who sees them, because that's really what it's all about. That's what art is all about. And I hope you can embrace your inner artist. Thank you for joining me. Stay fearless and fabulous. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Fearless and Fabulous brings you new videos twice a week. Wellness Wednesdays for vibrant health, and Fearless and Fabulous Fridays with bold adventures to inspire. Subscribe